Hello, it's Barry Coombs from Define Tomorrow, here again from Barcelona, VMworld 2017, joined today by Zerto.
Hi Barry, so Ed Owen from Zerto. I'm the EMEA Cloud Manager looking after the cloud business for Europe, Middle East and Africa.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Ed. So I spoke with Zerto last time here at VMworld, and it was interesting to hear while I was here last time that you were more than just kind of a replication vendor, because that's where I've seen you very, very good in that space. You kind of approached it from a completely different angle to anyone else. Everyone was really using that snapshotting technology to move virtual machines at the software layer between one location and another, and obviously you're based on more of a storage driver, intercepting the traffic, and being able to kind of deliver really, really low latency replication in virtual environments. What was new for me was that cloud business, and people are looking at ways that they can start consuming the cloud. They're bought into it, but don't really quite know where they're going to start that journey. And I was speaking to Island earlier, a partner of ours and a partner of yours, and DR and backup is a great place for people to be starting that journey. So maybe you could just fill us in as to how Zerto are helping customers bridge that gap between on-premise and the cloud.
Sure. So in terms of the approach that Zerto has always taken, as you said, is one of portability and mobility for our customers, so that not locking them in. And obviously we are known for the replication of VMware. We can obviously also do the other product that I probably shouldn't mention at this show. And we can go between those two as well, which gives customers that flexibility. Obviously from the cloud point of view, my CSPs are able to use our product not just for replication but migration as well, which they love. And it's just about that continuing message for our customers, which is if you haven't got a strategy, it doesn't matter. And giving them that flexibility to be able to move. Obviously we've now got the ability to fail into Azure and back out again with 5.5, which is a really powerful message, and those CSPs love the fact that they can own that mobility of that customer, and the customer feels that they can go off and say try Azure for certain workloads, and then maybe if they decide it doesn't work for them, they can come back again. Gives them that flexibility.
Definitely, and I think that is really important, that flexibility you're talking about. We were speaking to Tintry earlier, and also what VMware is saying here, that we need to break down the silos. We need to be able to make it easy for virtualization administrators or IT professionals to be able to do what is right for their business when it's right for their business. Obviously you kind of bridged that gap previously to Azure, and a point you touched upon now is you can actually bring them back. I think before you were kind of getting to a place where you could take them there, and I think you could get them back, but it wasn't simple. It wasn't and click the button and you come straight back again. So it's really important to give that flexibility to be able to move from one hypervisor to another is also a very interesting use case. Obviously from my perspective, VMware through and through, everyone should come over from Hyper-V to VMware. Exactly. But actually there may be reasons that people want to go the other way, and certainly one way that I am seeing your product being used is a tool to help with those migrations. It's the simplest way to get from A to B between multiple data centers, and then I think when customers are then seeing actually that was easy and don't really have a DR strategy, maybe we should invest in this product going on from there, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the cloud providers are giving them that option, and it's just not being tied in that the customers like, and the cloud providers like the fact that they can own that mobility from for the customer to change their mind. Customers like to change their minds.
And I suppose looking at the industry and what's going on in the big wide world, security is a theme of the conference here today.
Absolutely.
And no matter which way you look at security, there's many different angles. There's protection, but recovery has got to be a critical angle to that. We've personally seen customers that have been very, very affected by ransomware, and it really kind of shows to you how you have to have a data protection strategy that isn't maybe just about the instant recovery, the same as it would be for how we would take disaster recovery. I need to lose the minimal amount of data. Well, actually, it might be a medium term. You don't want to go back to your long-term archive. You don't want to go back to 10 seconds ago. What you actually want to go back to is an hour ago.
Just before you hit.
And I think if I've got the right product, Zerto is more around, I've kind of referred to it as the Sky Plus box of recovery. You can go back in time.
Yeah, so we run the 30-day journal, or up to, if a customer wants to, up to a 30-day journal, and you can, as you say, effectively Sky Plus back. So if you get a ransomware hack today at 11 o'clock, you can go back to 10:59 or whatever, and you can recover. And the other thing is, with the way that we group your applications with the virtual protection groups, that allows you to have that crash consistency. So you're not just bringing back something that then doesn't work because it's out of sync. So it's bringing everything back at that point in time, and it works.
Definitely. And I think that kind of flexibility, again, is really important. And it gives customers options, because we recorded a podcast the other day about what happens when you know that you've got a ransomware attack going on, and your stomach kind of falls, you kind of don't know what to do, you go into that moment of panic, but to know you've then got a product set behind you that will give you an ultimate flexibility to go back to those 30 points is really, really important. So sounds a really exciting time for Zerto at the moment. Bridging the gap between on-premise and the cloud. Customers love the product that we've been working with, so sounds a good time to be working at Zerto.
I think it is, yeah. As I said before, we've started the year on about 500 people. We're now nearly 700 people in the last 6 months. So the company is growing massively. The cloud business is growing massively, and it's exciting times.
Definitely, and speaking certainly to the cloud providers we work with, certainly Ireland, they're seeing it as a great enabler for them because it gives people the confidence to try out the infrastructure. Once they've done a few DR tests, they go, actually, this cloud stuff's quite good. It works for me. I can trust it with some more workloads. So you're kind of helping the other parts of the industry as well.
Yeah, and we've seen customers who fail into a cloud provider and then they stay there. Yeah. Because they realise that actually the performance is there, the security is there. The customers are able to test regularly without any impact on their production site, and it's they realise that actually it's a safe way to work.
Thank you. Thank you ever so much for joining me. ComputerWorld has recently become a Zerto partner, so keep an eye out on definetomorrow.co.uk for lots more content. Customers are loving the technology as well as working with our partners. So thank you for joining me.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.